Hi, my name is Chris Gorges. I'm a sign language interpreter here in the Central Valley in California, and I wanted to start producing some content for this channel to really start building up a more support for those that are either already involved in the deaf community or those that may be thinking about becoming involved, whether it's learning the language or wanting to become a sign language interpreter and make that as a career, or maybe you're already a sign language interpreter. If you've been in the field of sign language interpreting, you may have come across that it might not be the most supportive environment, so that's something that I wanted to change. I think that it would be really helpful and beneficial if we became more supportive of one another. So that's really the main goal and main purpose of producing this content going forward. I wanted to start building that community of support. So maybe you're someone that is just beginning to learn sign language, or you're thinking about learning sign language. So I wanted to create some content that can really help that process go a little easier. Not only just learning the basics or learning signs and vocabulary, but it can initially be a very exciting process, but eventually we can hit the wall, or we hit these plateaus. And I want to share some personal experiences of myself, my wife, and maybe a lot of others that have experiences, those ups and downs, and kind of how to push through and just keep making that progress. Or maybe you're someone that is just beginning their career as a sign language interpreter, or you're thinking about making it a career. That can be a very overwhelming process right there in the beginning, because not only are you learning the language, but you're also trying to learn how to interpret. You're learning different situations. Are you going into become an educational interpreter, or are you going to be interpreting for the community, or are you going to be interpreting in medical fields such as hospitals, clinics, dentists? A lot of that can be overwhelming in the beginning, so I wanted to create some content that can just make that process a little bit easier, just share some stories and experiences, and I would love to hear from you as well. What is it that you wanted to get out of your career, or what motivated you to become a sign language interpreter? So I would really love to hear back from all of you. And also, if you're someone that has been in the field for a lot of years as a sign language interpreter, or just very involved in the deaf community, not only would I really love to hear from you, your experiences, some of the things that you would like to share with others, but also I wanted to create some content for you. Maybe you have been in education and you're just starting to interpret for medical, or maybe you're thinking about getting more certifications. There's a lot out there. There's the ESSE, there's the EIPA, there's NIC provided through the NID. There's just a lot of acronyms. So I plan on going over those certifications in other videos, breaking them down, where to get them, how much they cost, what they can do for your career, and also tips on how to pass them. Maybe you're an educational interpreter and your student is progressing through the grades, and all of a sudden you find yourself interpreting for classes that you've never had to interpret before. Particularly those in the STEM fields. It can be very daunting to start interpreting for microbiology, or for physics, or for quantum physics, higher mathematics like algebra, calculus, geometry. Each one of those subjects has their own set of vocabulary and structure on how to explain that to a deaf student. So over the years, it has been a struggle, but I would love to share some resources that I found very useful in those fields. And of course, I don't want to leave out the deaf. So many of these videos will probably be in ASL first, and then voiced over and have closed captions for the hearing. Not only is that showing love for the deaf, but it also will help you as an interpreter, or maybe someone that's just learning the language, to really kind of get your feet wet. And one of the best ways to really dive into the language and to make that progress, if you're just learning sign language, or if you're already an interpreter or are thinking about just expanding your horizons and getting closer to the community, going to deaf events is a great way to do that. And tomorrow, this Friday, we'll be hosting a deaf event in Porterville, California. So if you happen to live in the area, if you're in Visalia or Tulare, Lindsay, Strathmore, please come on by and join us. It's going to be tomorrow at 6 p.m. at a Panera Bread. I'll have some details linked in the description below with the address, time, and everything that you need to know for it. But I would love to see you there in person. Again, my name is Chris Gorges. My wife, Johnny Gorges, will also be there, and my little daughter, that's 1.5, will be there as well. So please come by and be a part of the community. So just one more thing before I leave. The company I work for, Fox Interpreting, is actually looking for more interpreters. So if you're someone that is just on the fence or maybe thinking about making sign language interpreting a career, please let me know. So hopefully I can start pushing out this content sooner rather than later. I'm going to try to force myself to put out content every week. So I look forward to building up this channel with you. I want this to be a cooperative thing and not just me talking to you. I want this to be a community of support like I mentioned before. So if you found this video helpful at all, please leave a like, and if you look forward to some of the content that I'll be producing in the future, please consider subscribing. And until next time, thanks for watching. Bye.